I'm Mr. Brownlee, and I've been in the military for 14 years. I started out in the Marines first, then now I've been in the Army. I've been in the Army since 2000, and this is just a few of the uniforms that I wear day to day. This is, everybody's recognized this one. These are the older ones right here. I'm a Black Hawk mechanic out in Shelbyville, so I can tear down a helicopter and put it back together in like 2 months by myself. I also am air assault qualified, so I'm the person that jumps out of the helicopters at 200 to 300 feet. I also went to sniper school. I've been deployed twice, once as infantry, second time as a flight engineer for C-23s. And I push people out the back of my aircraft so they can jump from 10 to 15,000 feet. I can bore you with all kinds of war stories and all kinds of stuff, but do you guys have any questions on any of the uniforms? Yes?
What's that helmet for?
This one is when I go fly. This is my flight one. This is a protective shield to stop when people do the lasers and point them back at you. This stops that, and just my other one is just a plain clear one. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
What do you say?
What do you mean when they fire lasers at you?
Oh, like when they shoot when they have laser guided missiles.
Oh.
They point at the aircraft, so they don't know if it's at a person or the aircraft. So you can also receive laser pointed from people trying to shoot you down from, like we have it's called aim point, where we can laser up a target. Everybody's seen Transformers, right? The green lasers, they have them on their weapon, and then they shoot them at a person or a vehicle, and that can blind me, and then also send a signal back to the radar that shoots a missile right at me. This one right here is not a American uniform. This is a British uniform. I traded a guy on my first deployment. I just wanted to have a different uniform. And this is the progression of. Everybody's seen these. These are the old ones. This is my old flight jacket, and this is the new one. This one is not fire resistant. This one is. That one's fire resistant, and this uniform is also fire resistant. The thread and the material is fire resistant. This one right here, not even close. This is not fire resistant at all. This is a ACH. This is a flight uniform. We have to wear this for refueling and also for flight operations. This one is just everyday today, normal casual wear for the military. This is a two-piece tan uniform that is also a flight uniform. I've flown on at least 12 different aircraft, between Black Hawks, 58s, Chinooks, and been also in the Marines. I was on Hueys. I've also got to sit in a cockpit, for all you Black Hawk fans, in a F-22 Raptor. I cannot fly it, but I got a chance to get in the cockpit, and that was close enough for me. And this is one of my dress uniforms. I am a sergeant. For each mark here on this side, it shows how many years I've been in. For everyone, it's 3 years. And on this side, for each French fry, that's what we call them, it's 6 months in combat. And this is one of I have 3 different bulletproof vests. This is just one. So this is the one we wear for flight. Then I also have another one that folds over that is like 3 times as heavy, that has plates in the front and in the back. And when you have everything loaded on here with magazines, grenades, it's probably 75 pounds, just this. And when I fly, what I wear when I fly. I wear both. This is not even loaded up. When this is loaded up, this is probably 30 pounds. It has a large ring in the back, so if something happens to me in an aircraft, it's easy for somebody to grab a hold of something and pull me to safety. This is just a backpack of just random stuff that I threw in. It's probably 35, 40 pounds. My first deployment, I averaged 180 pounds extra on what I carried. So I was 200 pounds, and I would carry 180. And that was every day for at least 7 to 8 hours a day. And this is what I would wear with this. So everybody's seen the CamelBaks, and this is, I have my ammo pouches, and then I also have more stuff where I can put grenades at, and my water. But my job first in the military was as an infantry. I carried, it's a 240. You Black Ops people know what a 240 is. It's a fully automatic machine gun that stands from the ground to here, and you can reach out and touch somebody at 1,100 meters with no problem. And it's fully automatic. I carried that and also a 9mm as a sidearm, and 4 grenades and another 2,000 ammo, 2,000 pounds of, 2,000 ammunition, 2,000 rounds of 7.62 and also 5.56 and 9mm. That was just in a normal day. And also chemical suit, flak vest, and gas mask. Yes.
Do you have like those signal flares just in case that falls?
Mm-hmm. You have signal flares, and you also have a little strobe light, so they can see at night. But then you can also put a IR cover on there so they can see at night. So just the good people can see you at nighttime. Yes.
Last year at school, you said that Sean told us that they were going to send you off to somewhere. Are they still doing that next year?
Yes, I will be going on my 3rd deployment in August of next year. So my first deployment was infantry. My 2nd deployment was as a flight engineer for C-23. My 3rd deployment, I'll be an IT guy. So I'll make sure that people have internet in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Huh? No, a Black Ops is actually clear. It's actually just like a spot that looks like Kia gas, the whole the rad gas you see. It's just like that. And you just give it color on there so you can actually see it. That's it. Yes. Okay. Now, the biggest difference between all the different branches, the Army, everybody thinks we're just ground troops. The Army has the largest aviation and the largest ground troops and the largest base. So we have more boats than the Navy, we have more planes than the Air Force, and we have more people than all of them. They specialize in one particular thing, we do it all. Yes.
I have actually like two. You said that you were studying the strength, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a kind of suit for just for training?
A suit?
Like a certain.
Oh, yeah, I can bring it. Yeah. You can use a ghillie suit, but just depending on where you're at, what you actually need. Because if you're in Afghanistan, Iraq, a ghillie suit would be the worst thing to have. Because there's no trees, there's no brush, there's nothing out there you can cover. Yeah, the best thing to wear there would be either a tan uniform or a black uniform. Because when you're in the shadows of the buildings, if you can't see any, if it's completely black and you have a black uniform, black mask, everything else, they can't see you. Then you have a honeycomb filter on the front so they can't even see the glare off your scope. Yes.
Is it, I was wondering if there was like, cause my grandpa was in the Army and he said there was like a couple different ghillie suits for like different terrain, like.
Mm-hmm. But there's none really out there for the desert, because there's nothing out there in the desert. Yes. Yes, I went to boot camp for the Marines, Since the Marines is so hard, I didn't have to go to the one in Army. Yes. Yeah, tons of them. And I've also shot the RPG and an AT-4, and also a 203 grenade launcher too.
You just told me you shot RPG.
Yes.
What are all the badges on your jacket?
This one is for my combat infantry. Shows that I've been overseas and I was in an infantry unit. We took fire. My second one is my aviation wings, showing that I'm a Black Hawk mechanic or a crew chief. My third one is for air assault. That means I jump out of helicopters and planes. Yeah.
How many badges do you have?
Just 3 right now. I want to get my one for airborne so I can jump out of airplanes, and then I want to get my Ranger tab. And if I get lucky, I might be able to get a Halo. Yes. A what?
Why would they shoot a nuke?
Yeah. If I see a nuke drop, it's too, yeah, I shouldn't even be here. Because the fallout, if a blast would hit in Indy, one blast, it would take out Marion County inside the circle. One blast. So yeah. Yeah.
I'm running.
No, don't want to. I hear it hurt.
One stop full of one.
Guys, William is the one who got called on, so you need to wait and listen.
I know there's different types in each branches. What's the highest rank in Army and Navy?
The highest rank for enlisted in the Army is a Sergeant Major, and for the Navy, it is a Senior Master Chief. The gentleman that was here earlier, as he stood up, he had a completely different uniform on. He was a Senior Master Chief. He's Halo. He is the Master Chief. He's Senior Master Chief. Yes.
Have you ever been in the tank?
Yes. I've been in M1 Abrams and also Bradley. The thing about the M1 Abrams, they have the same engine as the Black Hawk. So I can work on the tanks and I can work on those. And they weigh 80,000 pounds, but they can go up to 75 miles an hour with everything in them. I didn't hear you.
After you're done for boot camp,
Mhm.
you have to go into the Marine.
If you go into the Marine Corps boot camp, yes, you have to go, whatever boot camp you go into, that's what branch you're going to. Unless you go into, like, do ROTC for a couple of years, then you can pick whichever one you want to. Oh, yes, no. Go ahead.
Have you been in Desert Storm yet?
No, I was activated then, but I did not go. But I went to Desert Shield, which is the second half of it. Yes.
What kind of sniper do you use?
Oh, just a M24, and no, I didn't use the 50 caliber. No, I get a chance to use those. Go ahead.
Do all of your patches and badges come off in one day?
Yes, except on this one, yes, everything is Velcro, but on these older ones, it's also on. It makes it easier, and you don't lose them. With this is when I'm doing an aircraft or maintenance on an aircraft, I can't have this on because one of these can drop somewhere, anywhere in the aircraft, and this little $2 piece can make the engine, which is 500,000, not act right. And if they're at 2,000 or 3,000 feet, it's not going to be a good day for them or for me. Yeah. It's an experience. It's definitely an experience. It's one thing when you're there, you hate it, but once you get out, you're like, oh, that was easy. It's all in your mind. They mentally break you down to where everybody hates that one person, that drill instructor. So then everybody else bonds together, and then everybody builds back up. Because just think, I look through this whole crowd here. Everybody's different. But if you have one common enemy, that drill instructor, then you all band together and work as a team, and that's what they're trying to do, make you as a team. Yes. Yes.
Don't they have like, not like a blanket, but kind of like a blanket, but it blends in with the tree over yourself?
Mm-hmm. You can do that, but
I know I can.
you can't do it in the middle of the desert. You still have to have, like, because there are no trees out there, you still have to be in buildings. That's the thing. And in buildings, it's better off to wear black, because if you're inside a building on the second or third floor, you can shoot from out of there and be 10 or, 5 to 10 feet away from anything, even your muzzle flash, they won't be able to see that because you're shooting so far the distance away. And on your sound is echoing inside that building and not outside. Yeah. Oh, let's raise your hand.
Why don't you guys still have swords?
We do have swords, but they're more for just ceremonial. Now, if we run into somebody, in Iraq, Afghanistan, and try to use a sword, yeah, gun versus knife, who's gonna win? That's an easy one. And their preferred weapon is an AK-47 or an AKU. Okay. So when they're shooting 5 to 7 bullets and I got a sword, it's not the Matrix. I can't block them. Injuries? No, not really. Nope. I've been lucky. No injuries, no nothing. Been, I've had grenades and stuff go off close to me, stuff blow up close to me, but I've never had anything happen to me. Nope, just a lot of ringing in the ears, and that's it. Yeah.
Has anybody ever took a bullet for you?
Nope. My first job was a 240 gunner, so I was the guy that sat on top of the Humvee with the big weapon up there. So I had a 240 one direction, then I had tow missiles behind me. So yeah. So they want to take me out first because I'm the person that controls the weapon. If you're shooting at me and I take out your whole building, it makes it easy for everybody else. Yeah.
Have you ever been able to use a Gatling gun?
Yes, we don't have Gatling guns on our aircraft, but I've been past some aircraft that do have the miniguns, and I have seen a C-130 that has the Spooky. Yeah, I've seen those.
AC-130 just has the C-130 it like carries cargo.
Yeah, I've seen one of those, but since I'm not part of that crew, you only can get so close to them because all that stuff is top secret. Yeah.
Have you ever used a dog ride?
Hey, what?
A dog ride before?
No. Interesting stories.
Tell my phone story.
Yes, but I got an interesting story. Okay, one of my first deployment. Well, do you want to? I got two different ones. I'll do a nice one first, then I'll do one that's kind of a little crazy. All right, my first one. We're taking people back and forth on one of our aircraft. It's 15 people. It's 15 people ready, and they're in jump seats. So now we're up at 8,000 feet, and we have people that I can't mention their names, that our cargo door opens up, and they disappear. 2 days later, we come pick them up, and then there is people with, like in the movies, with bags tied over their head, and they're strapped to my back of my aircraft. And then we drop them all in another place. They never see us, we don't see them, and then we fly away. That was the easy one, but I've had one in my first deployment where you get kind of scared. We're driving through Al Nawziriya, and it's the first time going there, and you're just looking, and you see no glass in these windows. So now, as a person that's been to sniper school, and you can see like all these different points, you're like, okay, I don't want to be here, I'm ready to go home now. But you're about 10,000 miles away, so you really can't go home. So you're just like, okay, I'll get through it. You keep driving, you hear any noise, you just look and you're like a bobblehead. Your head's like this, just looking at everything like this. And you're like, okay, come on. Then you see people off in the crowd. Some people are waving at you, and then you see one or two people that are looking at you, and you know they don't like you at all. Period. there's no question that they don't want you there at all. So you just keep driving, and then you make it through that area. Then you look back, all your trucks are there, everybody's there. Then you're happy because you just escaped probably the worst time you could ever have. Because if somebody didn't like you, one grenade in each vehicle, and all 10 trucks would have been gone with nothing new. It would have been worse than Black Hawk Down. Yes.
From what I've heard from my uncles in the Army, the worst thing you can do is get one off the gun. Because you're like, what's wrong with all
Yeah, that was my job. That's why I had a 240 and some missiles on the back. Yeah, that's why I was.
That gun won't stay.
Now, it does if you know who you're shooting at, because if you just hear a shot fired, you don't know where to shoot at, and there's thousands of people in front of you. So you have men, women, and children. So who are you going to start shooting? Nobody has a weapon. So now if you start shooting innocent people, now you're in trouble, and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. Coolest weapon I ever shot, which would be a Mark 19. It's an automatic grenade launcher. It has the same grenade as the 203, but it's belt fed. So you can just go, you just push the button, just like.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yes.
Have you ever been in like a fight where like you're like surrounded all around by enemies?
Unless you're called off, please do not
fend them
talk.
off?
Chris, Amos, and
No, I have not been in anything like that. We've had small skirmishes, but never nothing where we've been completely pinned down. No, and I'm glad. I don't need a medal box. I just play the game.
Sure.
Yes.
Have you ever been forced to fire?
Forced to fire somebody? No, because I didn't want to. No, pretty much over there, it's you don't engage anybody unless they're engaging you. So you just don't, just start walking around and just start shooting people. No, you just don't do that. Yes. Yes. Huh? Well, in a plane, helicopter, and on land. Yeah. So, yeah.
Have you ever shot like a grenade launcher that looks like a revolver?
Oh, the Bulldog? Yes, it has 5. Now, I haven't shot those, but I've had the M203 that's on the bottom of my M4. I've had that. Yes.
Have you ever had like to kill anybody?
Nope, don't want to.
Never has.
Yes. Yeah, I do that. I do that. That's fun. You actually never do a throwing knife. I'm like, yeah.
Have you ever shot an M2 hammer?
No, I have no clue what that is.
It's a kind of grenade launcher. It's not big. Then it might not be real.
Yeah.
Some are not real. Now, I have fired a AT-4 Law. I fired an RPG, 203 grenade launcher, and a Mark 19. Those are the only grenade launchers I've fired. Yes. Yeah. I've also worked with the medevac, so, dragging people out and just back to the aircraft so they can get on. I've done that, yes.
My dad was not M16 or M4, but is there like any difference between the military and the standard issue?
The biggest thing is it's called the rail system, where I can start adding all my good stuff to there, like between my aim point, my night vision, all that added on. So if you just have just a plain M4, it's 8 pounds. But when you start adding everything on there for your night vision, your red dot sight, and everything else, then it starts making it maybe 9 to 10 pounds. Yes. Nope. Don't want to. Yes. Huh? No, we buy our own knives. Yeah, we don't get the issue. Yes. No, I flew attack dogs.
guys,
Yeah. Yeah, I've been to a couple of places where they actually have a tag dog, and we've had some fly on our aircraft, so we'll take them from one camp to another camp. We have done that. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, we have to do a class, so you have a 4-minute passing period. That means if you have a question, you have 4 minutes to wait in line patiently and ask him a question or look at his uniform, because most of your stuff is now in your classroom. So you're going back to your third period. Before we leave, we need to thank him for coming. Let's do a big hand.